All right, let's jump right in. We're going to cut through all the noise and confusion in cybersecurity today. How? With a framework that's all about one thing: clear, prioritized action. Welcome to your quick guide to the CIS controls. Does the world of cybersecurity ever feel just chaotic to you? I mean, you've got this endless stream of threats, a million different security products, all promising they're the silver bullet, and this tangled web of regulations. It's a lot. And it really all boils down to one huge question. Where in the world do you even start?
Well, the good news is you don't have to tackle everything all at once. There is a proven and honestly a much simpler way to focus your efforts where they're actually going to make a difference. It's all about moving from that feeling of chaos to a place of real clarity. So, how do we find that clarity? Well, we can thank the Center for Internet Security, or CIS for short. They're a nonprofit, and they got a bunch of experts together from all over the world with a single goal: answer that exact question of where to begin. What they created is a framework designed to bring order to that chaos. And this is it, the CIS controls. But look, this is not just some academic list of things you should do. The whole thing is built on actual, real-world attack data. It follows this really simple but powerful idea: offense informs defense. Basically, if you study how the bad guys actually get in, you learn the most effective ways to keep them out. Now, I want you to focus on that very first word, prioritized. This right here is the secret weapon of the CIS controls. Instead of just handing you a giant, overwhelming checklist of hundreds of things, it tells you what to do first. It takes this monumental task and breaks it down into small, achievable steps. So how does this whole prioritization thing actually work in practice? Well, this is what I like to call the framework's secret sauce. It's a concept they call implementation groups, or IGs for short. And these IGs are what make the controls so incredibly practical for pretty much any organization out there.
The best way to think about it is like a fitness plan, right? IG1 is your essential cyber hygiene. These are the absolute fundamentals, the basic movements you have to master before you do anything else. Then you move on to IG2, which builds on that for businesses with a bit more data to protect. And finally, you've got IG3, which is like the elite specialized training for really mature organizations. You master one level, then you move to the next. And here's what that path looks like in numbers. Everyone, and I mean everyone, starts with IG1. That's a core set of just 56 foundational actions, which they call safeguards. That's your starting line. It's a manageable first step. Only after you've got those down do you add the next 74 from IG2, and then, if you need to, the final 23 specialized ones in IG3. So let's zoom in on IG1 for a second, because this is really the big aha moment with the CIS controls. This is, without a doubt, the most important starting point for any organization. I don't care if you're a tiny startup or a massive global company. Okay, here is the crucial takeaway. CIS defines these 56 safeguards in IG1 as basic cyber hygiene. And get this, by putting just these actions into practice, an organization can protect itself against the vast majority of common opportunistic attacks out there. It's basically the 80-20 rule for cybersecurity, a huge amount of protection for a focused amount of effort. And we're not talking about some super complicated technical wizardry here. This is all about fundamental, common sense stuff. What you're seeing here really boils down to a few simple ideas. First, know what hardware and software you actually have. Second, lock it all down with secure settings. Third, patch your software and keep it up to date. And maybe most important of all, train your people so they can be your first line of defense. See? Basics. But basics that offer massive protection. So after all that, what's the big payoff? Why does this matter so much? Well, using this framework isn't just a box-checking exercise. It delivers some incredibly powerful real-world benefits for anyone who's willing to follow the path. The benefits are just huge. I mean, obviously you're reducing risk and setting a solid baseline for your security, but the real game changer is how the controls map to all those other major regulations, things like NIST, HIPAA, or PCI DSS. That means by doing the CIS controls, you're already doing a ton of the work needed for compliance, which saves an unbelievable amount of time and effort. It just gives you this clear, measurable roadmap to follow. So let's leave you with this one final thought. Now that you know there's a clear, manageable starting point, just 56 foundational safeguards, the real question is your organization actually practicing essential cyber hygiene? The path to clarity is right there. The first step is yours for the taking.